welcome back to the Fake Straight Podcast. I'm the host, your girl, Tanara. Please note that the opinions expressed by any guests on this show do not necessarily represent my views or the views of Fake Straight Media. This podcast is intended for mature audiences only. Listener discretion is advised. Grab your favorite beverage or mine, a glass of champagne, clink clink, and let's get into it, y'all. Hey y'all, what's up? It's your girl, your host, Tanara. I'm back with another episode of the Fake Straight Podcast. Today we have one of my good friends and line sisters here. April, tell us a little bit about yourself, your pronouns, where you currently reside, relationship status, all that good stuff.
I'm April, better known as AO. I reside in Houston, Texas. My pronouns are she, her. I am married, 3 children, and I'm a realtor. Also have an HR background. If you're ever in Texas and you need a house, you trying to sell, buy, rent, hit your girl up. It's AO the Realtor on IG.
Yes, I love a little plug. I wanted to talk with April about all the things. One, April had a little fake gay moment several years ago.
Oh, yeah.
So we're going to talk a little bit about that. But we were talking about relationships and breakups and makeups and healing. I thought, what better way than to have my boo on and let's get into the things. So, April, tell us about your fake gay moment.
Oh my God. It was like many moons ago. And that was just this one summer where I would say this is before hot girl summer era, but it was really the hot girl summer.
You was really living that.
I mean, this is back when Houston was popping like all week long. So there were a few moments where we were in and out of strip clubs, and it was just this one moment, and it was a connection with this one girl. And I'm not gonna say her name because people know who she is. But I feel like as human and as sexual creatures, I think all of our minds kind of wonder whether people want to admit it or not. I think you may have a thought because we're human and we're just built to be sexual. So I just connected with this female. She was really pretty because I've always felt if I were to venture off, I want a hot girl. Like, I want somebody to look like me. I want you to have...
You are so weird. What a weirdo.
What did Webby say? She gotta have a straight face, some ass, and some titties, whatever.
Oh, right. Good night.
But anyway, it was just like a connection with this one individual where we just had a quick makeout session. I really wanted to go all the way and just really see what it's about. It never reached that level, but it was a very hot makeout session.
Yeah. And that was when you were like, that was cute. Not really interested.
Yeah. It was cute for a moment, but yeah, this can't be my everyday.
I feel it. Look, before I was a full-on lesbian, I thought the same thing. Look, it just took one woman. Remember that time we were in that club in Houston and I had that polka dot dress on and that stud chick was trying to talk to me?
Oh my gosh, she was like groping your leg. She was like, "Ooh, your skin's soft. Oh, you soft, ma'am."
I forgot. And she was like this big. I forgot about that because this was before I was gay. I was always putting out that energy. Okay.
Exactly. And I will say, I think like if you Soraka is like Soraka, you think about Houston Onyx, like pre V Live and all those strip clubs before they were in play. This was like back when we was in Onyx and you was going to Sailboats on Richmond. So this is like when Houston was popping.
Oh my God. So many gay stories before I was gay. I forgot about nothing. I forgot. Yeah, I'm like, say this all the time. Like, if you're not from Houston, you don't live in Houston, you don't understand. And I don't know now. I've not lived in Houston in 8 years, but like the strip clubs are such a big part of the going out culture. You go out, you hang out afterwards, and you like, let's go to the strip club after. So it's like the after hour spot.
That girl was on you. She wanted you. So I feel like, honestly, hindsight is 2020. I think it was always in there, and they saw it, and they hoped to allow you. It took a while, but they were like, yeah, you're
Yeah,
one of
we
us.
think you're gay.
Come on over here. Come on over here.
we
Get in
we
here.
think you gay. You gay, girl. So like, and it's cool. Like, shout out to my first girlfriend that turned me into a real lesbian. So that being said, when I first started dating women in 2013, for all intents and purposes, I was in Houston. I don't have family in Houston. I don't have like, my friend family there. So I'm like, I could have just been fake straight forever and just had this little secret. But I was like, what? Like, I don't have anything to hide. Like, whatever, I'm dating a woman. So one by one, I was making my rounds to my friends, my sister. I can't remember how I told you that I was dating a woman. Do you remember that?
I honestly don't remember exactly. I think you did a soft intro. You told me like the fact like, hey, I went on this date. Then you did this soft lunch where we met her. And it was like, okay, that's cool or whatever. And I do remember like people coming to me because we've been through many cycles of life with one another. So we're very intertwined with each other's families. And so I remember somebody was like, she really doing that? And I was like, well, listen, the last couple years have been rough for both of us. And
Right.
I'm like, hey, if she rocking, I'm rolling. Like, if it makes you happy, do it. So I do remember it was just like a very soft lunch. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. And I think it was so much drama outside of that it was like I was always kind of like a little tag along to like that filter. We would go. I was like, I'm cool. Like, be around y'all, but please leave me alone because I do remember like one annoying girl, and I was like, please stop,
I
please.
remember because she had a purse and you were like, you're not talking to me. You have a purse on. And she was like, it's not a purse, it's a bag.
No, because she kept saying she was like, I'm a boy, and I was like, girl, you got a big ass purse, like not like a little clip. Girl, you ain't got like a little wallet. You ain't pinning it on your pants. Like you got a big old pocketbook on your arm. You are not a stud. I think you may think you are, but you really not. But yeah, it was so much fun. I just remember it being like some drama, but filled with happiness.
Yeah.
So it was just like fun times.
It was a good time. Y'all, if y'all don't know, like my first lesbian relationship, it was lots and lots of drama. Lost some friends, got into it with some folks. Like it was a lot going on. Which is so odd to me because to your point, if I have a friend and I know they've just been kind of hanging out and floating and doing what they do, and then they meet someone and they seem genuinely happy, I don't give a shit. I'm just like, do you, like, enjoy you. But for some reason, that was not the case. I was so happy that so many of my real friends were super supportive and just dope about it. You walked in the first Pride on
I
walk with me.
know.
It was
So
hot
fun.
as hell. You got to be a real one. To be an ally and a friend of a gay person in Houston during Pride Month, that's nothing but love because who about to do all that? It's hot.
Hot hell. But it was so much fun.
Yes. So Apes has met the boyfriends. She's met some of the side pieces. She's met the girlfriends. She's met all of them. That being said, looking into my relationships and looking at your personal relationship, do you think there's a difference in intimacy with same-sex relationships?
I do. I feel same sex relationships move so freaking fast that you're like, what? Hey, I thought you just met the person. And then you be like, I'm in love. Like, wait, what? Hold on. Whereas I think like me, I'm moving a little slower. And it's like, even though it may be kind of fast to some people, because I mean, hey, I've been with my husband, what, 7 years? We've been married 2. We moved in together, I guess, like not pretty quickly, but maybe like 2 years in. And
Well,
so I
it
think
was
we
not that
started.
long. It was before 2 years. You giving you all over there. It was not 2 years, boo. It
It
was
was like a
like
year and a half. It was maybe like a year and a half, almost 2 years before.
11.
And we moved, we lived together, then we bought a house together, and then we got married, all out of order. But anyway, but for all intents and purposes, that can seem fast. I mean, we've been together 7 years. We have a 4-year-old, so you do the math. I do feel like it's like really quick, and then like the bounce back is really fast because you're like, oh, we broke up. I'm in a relationship,
Yes.
and then oh, also like, hey, we also friends. It'd be like, what the heck, like y'all broke up, and then I feel like all of the friend groups are sometimes intertwined. So it's like this group of friends, and a few of them may have dated someone in the friend group. So
You're so right. If it's a group of friends, it's heterosexual friendships, whatever. When you date someone, when that's over, you don't see them anymore. They're not now talking to somebody else in the group. None of that. In lesbian relationships, it's like they showed up with this person one time, and then 3 months later, they show up with the person in the friend group like the shit never happened.
Going
And you're
on.
like, oh, that's what we're doing.
Well, that's cute. Okay.
I will say, in my defense, okay, the moving in together, I don't know if I can say in my defense for this. I'm a very logical person. When I have moved in with people, the women that I have lived with, when you're spending so much time together, you're just like, okay, well, why are we going back and forth? We're together every day. I think that's different from heterosexual relationships because when I dated men, when you meet them, you're not together 5 days a week. It's like, okay, well, I saw you Thursday for dinner. Maybe I'll see you next Wednesday. And then it progresses, right? So then it's
Mhm.
like a couple of times a week and whatever. Lesbian relationships, that first woman that I dated, I met her and I swear to gosh, we started dating and it was 3 weeks later and I was never not with her again. It's pretty much the joke about when you are dating a lesbian, you go on your first date with your stuff packed in a U-Haul, like y'all ready to move in together. Things go so quickly.
Yeah.
It's very
And
sweet.
I don't know if it makes it different because it almost is like you're gaining a new girlfriend outside of like, yeah, you're my partner, you're my person.
Yeah.
But also the few individuals that I know that are in lesbian relationships, it's almost like she's like a homegirl. And then sometimes, because I think you and I both know, because we shared a friend who had a girlfriend where her girlfriend is always around. I get it. She cool. But she like one of the guys. Like we're trying to do a girls thing. Stop bringing
Yeah.
your girlfriend and everything. Keep
Yeah.
her ass at home sometimes. Hey,
Yeah.
it's just us. So I definitely think in your relationships, it's always kind of been a balance where like, hey, your person's cool, they come around, but then we still have our days. So I think you guys probably move so fast because it's like on top of the love interest, it's also now a friendship embedded in that. And girls like to be with girls all the time. And I guess the same with guys. Like y'all watching football, basketball, going out, playing pickup ball or whatever. I
Yeah,
think it's
that's
probably
true.
easy that way.
But it doesn't always end up like that. That's not the same for all women. I'm in my fourth lesbian relationship. Before anybody comes for me, I've been a lesbian for 11 years now. To me, four relationships in 11 years is not a lot.
Because again, 11 years is really like 25.
That's literally 25 years. Okay. Like
That's a
I
long time.
It's all subjective. It's all subjective. Out of those four relationships, two of the women definitely were not friends in my relationship. I think they thought we were friends. I remember one of them used to always be like, well, you're my best friend. And I was like, in my head, like, girl, you are not my best friend because, like, you weird around my people. Like, I can't be myself. Like, I have to censor myself. Like, you're insecure about a lot of things. You're jealous about a lot of things. So, like, she and I weren't friends. She's the same woman that got mad when I was going on a girls' trip. She was like, why can't I come? Because it's a girls' trip. She's like, well, I'm a girl. Yes, you're a girl. Also, nobody else's partner is coming. That's the bottom line. Why would I bring my partner just because you're a girl? That makes no sense. One of them is just like so damn cool and calm that like she flows. So it's like, yeah, come and go have happy hour with me and my girls. But I'm not bringing none of y'all on a girls trip. Like none of y'all.
No partners allowed. That's the whole premise. This is
No.
a friends trip.
I talk with one of my best friends, Mary, her and her husband, John, and John is like they have been married 100 years now. So like if I'm over at Mary's house, we're all on sofas and I'm just running my mouth about my relationships and John's listening. He hops in. So, I mean, when it's just like a one-on-one situation, but I don't ever want to bring a partner around just because they're a female and then my friends are uncomfortable and they can't share what they want to share. So the intimacy level, to your point, that when you are dating a woman and you have that genuine friendship, it is a lot because y'all are talking about everything. You're women, so you're talking all the time about all the things. And with guys, you're just like, oh yeah, great game. Go. Although my boo now has me watching the Broncos game, so I don't know. She's a
Mm-hmm.
bro. She's a bro at times. She's a bro.
But since we're on a topic of like lesbian relationships and how y'all move on fast, you were in another relationship and you popped out like on the ground, so show me it's real, put it on the ground.
Yes.
How does that work? Because When you do stuff like that, that's when my phone started ringing, my messages started going out because people like, wait a minute, hold on. So I got a new boo? What happened? And I'm in the notes. I'm like, she been had a boo. What are you talking
Right.
about? Where you been? I get so many questions about your Instagram, and it be crazy questions. But about that one particularly, how is it when you're moving on? Now you popping out with a new person.
Oh my God. First of all, I only have 3 followers. So I think it's hilarious that 3 of them are like, April, what's she doing over there? Every time I post my boo on Instagram, people respond with looking eyes. Because here's the thing. Okay, here's the thing. When I move on from a relationship, I'm not one of those people like I don't need to drag shit, right? I'm not about to badmouth anybody. I'm not about to put up silly ass memes like I hope she looking at this. I just move on, right? Sometimes I can be friends with them if they've not violated in any way, they've not done any disrespectful shit. A lot of people choose to stay in situations that are not for them because they are like, oh, we've been on Instagram or we've been on couples trips or we've been doing this. That ain't the way I work. If I'm over something for whatever reason, I'm gonna move on. I had a relationship several years ago that required deep healing after them. One was my first lesbian relationship, and I need to go back and reflect and be like, where did I go wrong? Like, I knew this wasn't like forever because we had so many like fundamental core differences, but like, what can I learn from this relationship? So then I went into another relationship. And that was psychotic. It was very disrespectful. So I needed some deep, deep healing. I'm still healing around that. But if I have a relationship where everything was good, like my last relationship that ended, it was a normal relationship. It just wasn't forever. And we never talked about forever. We never said, you're my person. You're the love of my life. We're going to get married. We were like, let's vibe until we don't. And that's what I did. I vibed until I didn't.
Right.
Yeah,
I'm not mad at it. I'm not
I
mad
was just
at
like,
it.
okay. And so like I ended that, in the spring and there was nothing for me to heal from. So why am I gonna sit in my house? Like I'm not sitting in my house. I'm not sitting in my house crying. I'm not like, oh, this relationship ended. I ended it. It was my choice. So then that's when I decided to spin the block on my current boo. And that
Mhm.
was it. That's look, y'all ain't gonna see nobody else on my Insta, okay? This is
All
it.
right, I hope because the people feel like you the Thanos of the lesbian court where you run here collecting rings like boom, boom, boom. So this should be your last one, and you should have all the power now.
It is this
I'm
like
all for it.
this is it. This one is like on, we've known each other for several years and we dated for fun and it was cute. It was a good time. She's brilliant. She is amazing. She's kind. She's literally everything. It's fine if this comes back to bite me in the ass, but that's how confident I am in this one. I'm marrying this woman. This is the one.
I'm all for it, but I also, no matter what, whether you're same sex, heterosexual relationships, I don't feel that there should be a time limit because sometimes it bothers me when if you meet somebody and like you said we vibe until we don't vibe.
Yeah.
So if you meet someone and y'all just vibe and that's it and this is what I want. Even when people say, hey, I met someone, we met, we were in a relationship within a month, and then within 3 months we decided we were gonna move in together, and then by 6 months we were married. Like, if you know, you know. I think the older we get, you know what you want. You've already known what you've been through, so you know what you don't want. So when you see the things showing up in your life and they present themselves like these are all the things that I manifested that I wanted, and now it's finally here, what I'm dragging my feet for just to be like, oh, I took my time just to make sure it was gonna work. Hell, I'd rather get it over with earlier. Like, if it ain't gonna work, let me find out sooner. So I'm not like 10
Absolutely.
years in and you like, uh,
Yeah, this is not what I wanted. I was just talking to my homegirl about this. I was talking about my new boo. When we started dating, I was like, you gotta date me with some intention, okay? Some purpose around here. Because what I'm never going to do is I'm never going to settle or accept something in a relationship when I know I want more, right? I agree with you. I think as we get older, you can easily say, nah, that's not for me. I don't want that. When I was younger, I dragged it out. I ended up in a relationship with someone for 4 years, even though a year into it, I was like, this shit is not gonna work. This is not for me. Talked to somebody else 2, 3 years, 9 months into it, I was like, I don't think this is for me. Drag the shit out. So I what I like to say is I learned my lessons, okay? And so now in like the last relationship, I was like, what's the point? Like, let's just be cool. And I know straight people don't believe in that, like let's be cool afterwards, but we don't need to like why aren't we friends? Do you have anyone that you
Because
just
there's so much ego involved. Like, I think people live in their egos when it comes to relationships. Even this thing, like, don't date nobody I ever dated before, which I think is the dumbest thing. I think to a certain degree, like we both have exes that were like long term relationships that you are involved in those relationships. You know the person.
right?
So it's like, no, I don't want you to date him and then bring him to the barbecue. Like, no, I don't want to see him or
She don't know
whatever.
what your
Like,
baby daddy at the
I
barbecue.
think there are certain people who are like off. Like, yeah, you know that's off limits. But like the guy that you dated for 2 days in high school, and like I feel like that's more of your ego because I can see if it was a substantial relationship
Right, right, right.
where you were with that person, and I know you were with that person,
Yeah.
but you may have had a random hookup or a couple hookups with somebody. And I probably wasn't even privy to that. Or it was probably so long ago and it didn't even mean nothing to you. And now we meet and we are vibing. So we're supposed to miss out on like love that could be true love. This could be my person. I'm his person. Y'all didn't work out. What are you mad for? That's like your ego thinking that you have possession and ownership over people. Like
Right.
they're gonna love again. They're gonna be attracted to people. That didn't work out with you. Move on. Or it's no different from like soon as a guy pops out with a girl. Oh, he was in my DM. Girl, he was in your DM 2 years ago.
And
But
who
you never tried to
cares?
talk to nobody, or like a dude like bought your friend a drink and your friend in the background. Hey, well, I'm just gonna use the friend loosely because at that point it's not a friend. Are you in the background like he was trying to buy me drinks? Okay, but you turned him down, and I'm saying yes. What is the issue?
Okay, you passed up. Now I'm sliding in. It's okay. It's okay.
Ain't no fun if the homie can't have none.
Ow. That's not what we believe over here, guys. Don't listen to April. That's not what we believe. But yeah, I mean, there's no one, male or female, that I've dated on that I would be like, please don't. I think the crazy girl that I dated, if a friend of mine started dating her, I would be like, love you so much, boo. Good luck. Also, I can't be around you because I can't be around that chick. Like nothing else has nothing else to do with it. Okay, so something I want to know when we were talking about roles and responsibilities and like the social media argument about 50-50 and who's paying for what. When you're dating someone, shit, marriage too, do you look at it like the man is supposed to pay for everything, like roles and responsibilities, who's paying for what in relationships?
I honestly feel like whatever works for your household works for your household. Because I think there could be different conditions that are going on. I am sick of the 50-50 talk, honestly. Because, like, even when I see females like, oh, you take me on my first date, you need to be dropping $300. Why would I drop $300 to get to know you, to take you to State 48? I'm spending $300 and then I still leave not really knowing anything about you. It's like the requirement of it. Like, if you take me, you take me. But like, I think the conversation, yeah, is steering like, hey, this is the expectation, this is the bar, and if it's not here, then I can't even get to know you.
Yeah.
So I think putting those stipulations on it is just like crazy in itself. But when it comes to like us, we do what works for us. Like we both are high earners, so I do truly believe like the man should be the head. He should lead the family. He should be there to protect and provide. But that doesn't mean that I'm not also contributing to our household. Ultimately, it just boils down to what financially is the makeup of your situation and what works for y'all. Because there may be a time he ain't got it. And if I got it, he got it. And if I don't have it, I would expect that he has me. So that's like my only requirement when it comes to how we take care of bills. I also don't think we live in a time where people are having these think pinks conversations about it, where it's like, oh, the man need to pay all the bills. I ain't never heard my grandpa complain about taking care of my grandma. Yeah, inflation. We don't really technically live in a society where the way most people want to live, one income can support that. You know,
Who's taking care? I would love to see that in this day and age. If you're not an influencer, I'm talking about regular people who have regular jobs. I just look at it like, why would one person be responsible for all the things, right? To me, that seems like a lot of pressure. I love when people take care of shit for me, but also I want you to feel like I'm a partner and I'm a helpmate and I'm an asset to you as well, in whatever way that is.
Because I think like the conversation is like, what do you do with all your money? Like, I don't pay bills. So when somebody asked me the other day, was like, did you see like this new fee on the light bill? I was like, I don't know. I don't pay the household bills,
Yeah.
but I contribute to the household. Like, I
Yeah.
am more so of the manager. Where it's like, I'll let you take care of that. We do that. When it's time to take a trip, I may be booking our trips and making sure all those things are taken care of. So I honestly think that it like what works for your situation, because everyone's going to be different. Income levels are going to be different. And again, like if you have that mindset, and let's just say, because I think like this, we're both from like small towns. So if we go back to like our Facebook and we look at what the people are saying back home where we're from, I feel like the median income there is like maybe $70,000, and I don't even think it's that. Like, so it's like the way y'all have these think peak conversations, like, who man paying for that if he made 40,000, or what if you're a higher earner than him? So you are mad because I mean I don't think like that equates. I mean, hey, you gotta do what do for you, who you fall in love with, but it's just like just do what works best for you.
Yeah, for sure. And I also don't think that when you are looking at separating household finances, again, to your point, like we're both females that work, get a little bread. So it's like, if you're expecting me to take care of the household, what we not gonna do is we not paying 50-50, and I'm going to work, you going to work, but like I'm cooking, I'm cleaning, I'm grocery shopping, I'm doing all of this. Like that's what I'm not going to do. So I
Mm-hmm.
think that like there's like a give and take of that. And it's like, okay, if someone is paying the mortgage and taking care of household bills, and like you say, I'm contributing to the household, but then also then yeah, I'm gonna take care of the home. I'm good because like you're making sure like this roof is over our head. You're making sure things are paid for. So to wrap up, you're a married woman now, but we have both seen different versions and iterations of each other. We've been through breakups and makeups. What does healing look like for you after a relationship?
This one is a little heavy, but I think realizing that you need to heal. I had to do a lot of healing, not only from relationships, but personal. I had to take it back. Let me deal with the hurt from the little girl
Yeah.
of my father,
Yeah.
who should have been like the example of what a man is. And then also realizing I dated men who showed up as my father, and
Yeah.
accepting that I needed to kind of just heal from that and let that stuff go. And like me and my dad didn't always have like the best relationship growing up, but we have a decent relationship now where I've let go of that hurt and I've
Yeah.
accepted him for who he is. And like whoever he shows up in my life today, I just love that person,
Yeah.
because I can't expect for him to be something that maybe he just can't be to me. But whatever he is, what he has to offer me, I take that. So like when it came to relationships, I just really had to sit down and like think about like the parts I played in the demise of my relationship, what I don't want to do ever again, like
Yeah.
what I'm not willing to accept in a relationship,
That
how
part.
I want to move forward. And it just really just like took some work, like really not showing up as the person I said I never wanted to be. I don't want to be crazy. I ain't gonna be going through nobody's phones. I ain't gonna be checking and doing all that. Like if I have an issue, I'm gonna talk about it. I'm gonna express it to you. I may talk to you again, but I definitely think that just one, acknowledging what your pain is and then doing the work to heal yourself. So when you are moving into a new relationship, you're not holding somebody else accountable for some hurt that they never even caused you. Like you
Yes.
living in that hurt is like, no, I'm dealing with the issues that you and I have, and that's it. And I'm not gonna hold that on, because I think like you people get in a relationship, well, I've been hurt before. Everybody's been hurt before. And even though my intention in this new relationship is to never hurt you or inflict hurt on you, the reality of it is there may be something that I do that causes hurt to you.
Yeah.
And it wasn't my intention. It doesn't mean I intentionally tried to hurt you, but I hurt you.
Yeah.
And to think that you'll never be hurt again in your life, like we still have some life to live. So I'm sure there's going to be some hurt and discomfort that comes with it. But I think the level to which that happens is different.
Yeah, for sure. And I think that because a lot of us grew up with either not seeing healthy relationships or seeing on the other end of it, seeing super toxic relationships, right? Or seeing our parents act in a toxic way. And so to your point, I think when you're moving in between relationships, it's not always just healing from that past relationship. It could be healing from something that you didn't know was a trigger until it came up in that relationship. It could be healing from that relationship. I also think that sometimes we justify toxicity. I dated someone and she says she did some things that were extremely disrespectful. And I was like, yeah, no, like I'm good. What's not going to happen is I'm never going to be disrespected again in a relationship. Like I'm done. That's not happening. She was like, well, this was just so small. And the way she said it, it was just so dismissive. I'm like, wasn't small because it was disrespectful as fuck. You didn't really even see anything wrong with it, but it's like bigger than that. I know what I'm not going to accept in a relationship anymore. I do think like hurt will come, from other things that will happen, but like calling somebody out their name, like just things I'm not accepting. So when you move on from a relationship, I think you really have to be very sure in yourself about like, okay, this is what I'm not going to accept. Or shit, maybe I overreacted on XYZ in my next relationship. Maybe that's not how I want to do things. But I do think the healing requires deep, deep self reflection. And I think a lot of people don't do that. Even though I moved on quickly from my last relationship, I did reflecting. I just didn't need to reflect for a year.
And just to add to your point, honor yourself. You set something with yourself, and you're like, these are my non-negotiables. I will never
Yeah,
be disrespected again, and stand on that. Because I think what happens is when we set our boundaries and we start bending them,
yeah,
that's when, like you said, you're holding on to a relationship where you saw, like, I was in a relationship 2, 3 years, but I knew 9 months in this shit wasn't gonna work. And
yeah.
instead of like ending on my boundaries, I'm bending and folding to be like, oh well, maybe. I was like, that could have been some more happiness. And like, this just don't waste your time. Stand on it and honor yourself, and don't be afraid to leave. Who cares what somebody thinks? Like, I'm happy. I don't care what nobody else thinks. You
That
can.
part. And I think that to bring that back to a full circle moment on what we were talking about at the beginning, I feel like that when people see me on social media, because I am a live, love out loud person. Like I tell this to my mom all the time when she thinks I'm still gonna marry a man. I'm like, Mama, my Instagram is my real life, okay? Like I have a good time. I have a good life, okay? I don't care if I'm single, in a relationship. If I don't went through some shit in a relationship, maybe that's the relationship is not my life. So when people are like, oh, well, she's jumping in and out of these relationships, or maybe she's looking for something more, it's like, yeah, I am looking for something more. I'm looking for genuine love, respect, and kindness. And until I get that in a relationship, I'm not staying in a relationship. Like, I don't have to. I don't got no kids. I got 2 degrees, about to have a third. I get money. Like, I don't need to stay in a relationship with anyone that is not treating me the way I deserve to be treated. And the difference now and in the last few years is that was part of my reflection where I accepted things that were beneath me. And I didn't hold people accountable for violating my boundaries. I was just like, oh, okay, well, I love them. Nah, love ain't good enough no more. It ain't.
Because love is a feeling. It's
Yeah,
fleeting. You could be happy one moment, not happy, but what happens when love isn't enough? Are we really truly friends? Do I really enjoy being in your
yeah,
company? And do I feel the need to be nasty to you? I think all those things play a role, because if you're looking at a lifespan, you're growing with that person, they're growing into a different iteration of themselves, you're growing. And do we stay here?
yeah, yeah,
When it
yeah.
gets that unbalance, it's like, hold on now, wait a minute. Either
Hmm.
we're gonna rise, or we're gonna have to meet each other in the middle, or hey, we may have to go our separate ways, and you gotta be cool with that. Like, hey,
Especially if you're talking dating with intention or just dating for fun. If we're just dating for fun, then it's like, okay, who cares? Whatever. But like if I'm dating someone with intention and they're dating me with intention, and like you have something where you're bumping heads, then yeah, it shouldn't get to that point where it's getting disrespectful or it's getting nasty and ugly, because like there's a bigger purpose. Like we've decided we want to be together. So there's a bigger purpose. And so if it's not with intention, even more reason like, okay, okay, bye. So I don't know. I'm gonna live my life, and I love that. Wow, this isn't even Zoom. When did they add these reactions?
Oh my God. I do not know.
Thanks, Lord. I I think that what I have realized is that people stay in situations, they stay in relationships. For me, I'm just not staying in a long-term situation where I'm not respected and I'm not loved and I don't care about starting over. I think some people need to be bolder. Start over. Y'all been together all these years and you've been unhappy. Or bound. I don't care if you were on my Instagram. An archive button, hate to see me coming, okay?
Gone.
I'm not
You're
saying that
gone.
it should be on Instagram.
Look, I have no problems cutting nobody off.
Yeah, that's
Mhm.
real. You better speak some knowledge. You better drop some knowledge on us, Ace.
Wait, in the words of B King,
No. Let's close out with Beat King.
my
God bless
boy
you.
said,
Ah,
get their head, get their bread, then leave.
okay, bye. Okay, that's all. Y'all, this has been fun. Thank you. This has been great. Abe's, thanks for joining us. I think you're the only non-LGBTQ plus person that I've had on this podcast. So you should put
Oh. Do
Mhm.
I get a trophy or award or certificate for being the first?
Yes, I'll print you out a certificate for sure.
Oh, thank you. I will put that up in my office.
I'm not dealing with you. Y'all, until next time, y'all remember, don't let anyone define you. Only you define you. And until then, holla. Bye.
Bye.
As always, remember, you define you. Do not let others define you. Thank y'all so much for joining us for another episode of the Fake Straight Podcast. You can follow us on all the socials at Fake Straight Pod. Like, comment, subscribe. Tell us what you want to hear more of. Tell us what you love, what you didn't love. All that good stuff. And until next time, holla.